Hello and welcome to the National Volleyball Center here in Kettering as we open up the Cup Finals Weekend 2025. I will be your commentary host for today's first match. My name is Jess Smith and I am joined today by Tara King of Essex Rebels. Hello, Tara.
Hi.
Right. We've got our first match today. We're going to watch Leeds Gorse versus Malory Eagles in the Under-16 Girls Cup Final. So, Tara, are you excited about the first match of the weekend?
Yes, I am. I haven't been keeping up to date much with the Under-16 volleyball, but I do know that the Malory team have been strong this year, which is not something we've seen regularly. They have only been in one previous Under-16 final in 2014 versus Tameside, which they did win. But seeing them back here is really lovely to see growth in the youth program in that club. Leeds, everyone's going to have heard about them this year because of their talent, perfection, played in the Super League team. She joined halfway through. She's been an absolute fireball for them throughout the whole year. So, yeah, it's really exciting to see them play.
Yes, definitely exciting. I love that you touched on the fact that this is Malory Eagles' first entry into the Under-16 finals since 2014. For Leeds, surprisingly enough, this is their first ever Under-16 final. They did win the Under-15 final last year, so a lot of the ladies from that squad will be on the court today. But yeah, it's always exciting when you've got new teams.
Yeah, and it's nice to see their growth. Like from last year, we'll know more players seeing that they were in the final, so it's good to see that they've stayed that level, and their coaching is obviously going to be recommended from that because they've brought through people up into an age group and managed to get them to the final again.
Yes, definitely agree. So these teams have never met one another in competition.
Oh, they haven't?
No. So we will see what they bring today.
New matchup.
Yes. Do you want to just walk us through some of the route to the final for each of these squads?
Yes, so Malory in the last 8 groups faced Boswell, which they won in 2 sets very convincingly in the first set, 25-14, and then a tighter 25-22. Next, they met up with South Hants, and that went to 3 sets, very close sets, and then they took it 15-11 pretty well in the third. This game today will be going to 5 sets, though, so it'll be interesting to see if it does go past 3 sets, how the teams hold up, as they've only been playing in 3. Then Leeds faced South Bucks, again went to 3 sets, and then convincingly 15-5 in the third set, so they're seemingly good at closing out a game in tight situations, as in the last 8 semi-final they faced Richmond, A team, and then in the third set took it 15-7. So it is interesting to see how they can manage to just close down games. For Malory, their first 3 games were against Richmond. They took it in 2 sets in all 3 of their games against Urmston Grammar and Richmond B. And then in the final, last 8 semi-final, they only went to 2 sets as well, very convincingly, 25-13, 25-17 against South Hants. So it seems that they haven't had the chance to go through a lengthy game yet. So it'll be interesting to see how they deal with it if they do go to 3 sets today.
Yes, definitely. So, yeah, really exciting to see 2 new squads. So this is the first time that we don't have Richmond in this final since 2018. We know that Richmond is probably the biggest club.
Junior program.
Yeah, they have a massive junior program. And it's the first time that we don't have Boswell School as well since 2022. So
that's big as well. I know that they're here tomorrow, aren't they, though, for the Under-18 final?
Yes. Yeah. So last year's final, Boswell School actually won in 3 sets versus Richmond quite convincingly, 25-21, 25-18, and then 25-11 in that third set. So it's always exciting at the beginning of the weekend because you don't know which sets are going to go to 5. Sorry, which matches are going to go to 5.
Yeah, which game's going to delay the entire day.
Exactly. So delay, yes, but it's exciting from a spectator standpoint. You know, us up in the commentary box, the longer the match goes on, the more we get to talk about, and the more we get to see some really incredible young talent.
It's nice to see which players growing throughout the game as well. Under-16 volleyball is such a chance. Like, everyone's so nervous going into it. In every game, it takes a few points for them to like stop free balling and start hitting the ball. So it's nice to know that this game will go to 3 sets definitely if it is a sweep, and therefore we'll see some players properly grow into themselves throughout the game.
Yes, and you know, we mentioned that there's a few players on both squads that play in the Super League as well.
Yes.
So do we think that that will have an impact on how the start of the match happens because they're used to playing on a slightly bigger stage in a longer match?
We'll definitely see tendencies form for Leeds very early on. They're definitely going to set like high balls out to perfection over and over and over again until some of their other players grow a little bit in confidence. Obviously, she can't swing and kill 75 balls as much as she would like to. They are going to have to rely on other people, but she definitely could try if she wanted to. She's a powerhouse. We've played her in the Super League, and she is determined. So it'll be interesting to see if they start to lean towards another player, and who will that be? I know that they've got a very tall middle, number 10, whose name is Rejoice, and I think she's got a strong arm as well, so it'll be interesting to see how they lean into other people and positions throughout the game.
Yes, completely agree. I mean, we're watching the ladies hit across the net now, and to say that these are girls under 16, there's some pretty strong attacking going on.
I have noticed that number 7, who's swinging now through the middle for Malory, she's very good. She's got a great jump on her.
Yeah, Dalmedia, so she's going to play through the middle, and we will definitely be watching out for her today.
I think the thing is with both of these teams is they come from such strong programs in terms of adults. It'll be interesting to see how their coaching reflects that and what sort of game plans they run, if they use middles, if they use opposites, because under 16 volleyball can be so hit and miss depending on what positions you have available. So I think watching how the coaches in timeouts put the team back on and see what system they want to run and how they want to use different attackers will be really interesting in this game.
Yeah, no, completely agree. I think the mental game is such an important aspect for the young players especially, and you've got experience with this because as a junior player yourself, when you were coming up, you played with some senior teams.
Yeah, I played in Wessex, who are actually in the men's Shield final today. I played for their women's team for the past 5 or 6 years, from my under 16 career up to under 18s, and that was really good because you sort of learn that under 16s isn't everything, you know, there's more past it, so you sort of understand to have a bit more fun, which is nice. So hopefully we'll see that with these girls, that they just sort of have fun with each other and know that this is probably some of their last games in under 16 volleyball. So I hope they enjoy it and there's no too many stressed faces on court. I know junior can get very tense sometimes with how much it means to them, but playing with adults is always great, and especially since most of the adults they play with or will be coached by in their adult teams will be the same coaches and players that they have now, so it's nice to see the connections grow between the coaches and how they go up through the program within their club.
Yes, and it'll be exciting as well to see, like, even in next season's Super League, how some of these players, because know that they're already playing at that level, that further development and the fact that they are playing together more often, how much will that impact their team cohesiveness throughout next season? Sorry, I'm just looking, and we were saying about nerves, and I've seen quite a number of serves from the Leeds side go well long of the baseline, so we'll see if
they're testing how far they need to go before they can bring it back, you know, that's always the thing. And I think as well, many of them won't have played on the tower flex before, so it'll be interesting to see during the game how their defense relies on it, because it's a different texture to wooden floors, and I know Leeds play on it is a nice flooring, but they play on wood floor, which is different to tower flex, so it'll be interesting to see how that works for them. I'm not sure where Malory train.
Yes. Yeah, the Terraflex is a bit of a weird surface if you've never played on it before. And depending, this is going to sound really odd, depending on how it's cleaned, it can be really sticky.
Yeah.
So
got
if
lots of sweaty men on it before you, then there's a bit of an issue there.
Yes. Yeah, it can either be really sticky or a little too slick at times, depending. So we might see, as the weekend wears on, there might be slight delays as we have people come on with a towel just to keep the floor dry, make sure that the conditions are safe for all of the players. So if you do see that, don't be too surprised. Slickness is a concern.
Yes, we have one of the Olympic mops in Essex, and we were very proud of it. We always run on court with it whenever we give it to a girl if it's a men's game and you're the mop girl, and they're very proud to own an Olympic mop.
Yes, which I think brings us on to another exciting thing to talk about. So just want to give a big shout out to all of the volunteers this weekend, because without them, none of this would be possible. You'll be able to see the ball boys and girls around the edge of the courts, because we will be running a multi-ball system for all of the matches this weekend. So you'll see some balls rolling down the sides. And yeah, just a huge thank you to everybody that contributes to how this weekend is about to pan out.
Yes, they are the first ones to get here and the last ones to leave every single big weekend Volleyball England have, so it's always important to appreciate them. I always find it funny watching them roll the balls to each other because they're very stressed doing it, because if they roll it on court or near the court, it's a good little game for them, I think, because they can be watching the volleyball and a ball will roll past them and they'll get really stressed about it.
Yes, and we did see that in the Final Fours weekend. There were a couple of game replays because a ball in the multi-ball system got too close to the court. And then, you know, it was a bit of a joke during the weekend, but the other day I was watching some Serie A volleyball, and it happened in one of the men's Scudetto final matches.
I can imagine that wasn't very funny.
I mean, I thought it was hilarious because if it can happen at that level, then...
Yeah, I mean, they're rolling, what, like 500 balls a day? Like, you can't do every single one perfectly.
No, definitely not. But generally speaking, they do a really great job.
Good,
yes. Right, we are just about to have the teams presented to one another and then we'll have the starting lineups after that. And we will find out who the referees are as well. So the ladies are just going to clap for each other. A little bit of confusion here. The referees want them to go to the 3-meter line.
It's different every game, isn't it?
It does feel that way, because
Yes.
like some teams want to shake hands before the match.
It's taken our Americans like the whole season to understand that you can walk on from the sideline, but then you have to walk back along it to handshake. They always just walk off and then walk on, and we're like, oh, this is a mess. It just becomes a mess.
I know. We'll just blame the American education system. It's fine. Okay, I guess they're not going to shake hands. That's fine. They're just going to go back to their benches before we have the starting 7s for each squad introduced. But to start off with, we're going to see our 2 referees for this match. So our first referee today is Francesca Bentley, and our second referee is Sarah Hanrahan. These are both very experienced referees for Volleyball England, and it's nice as well to see
All
a female
ref. Yeah,
yes.
that's what I was
We
gonna
won't say all female officials, because there are some male officials in
on
other
the squad,
capacities.
yeah.
Yes, yeah, but
It's nice to see the lead referees are both females for a game.
well, we've got first, second, and both line judges, and
The score too.
both of the official scorers are female. So it's a good all-female lineup. So
You'll also see the man with the camera by the scoreboard. He's going to be walking around on the courts as well. So if you see a random man walking around, he is the photographer. That is okay.
all right, we've got the starting lineups coming on. So starting off for Leeds Gorse, we've got number 2, Charlotte Machenska, number 3, Evie Haig, number 8, Lauren Thorne, number 9, Perfection Uwagbo, number 5, Olivia Bagdu, number 6, Christina Gacha, and their starting libero is number 15, Tamara Alejandrich, and of course their head coach, Elaine Brown, ever present for the Leeds juniors. And then for Malory Eagles, we start with number 7, Alicia Dalmedia, number 6, Marta Martin, number 11, Zainab Sen, number 15, Henna Metcalf, number 22, Leela Davies, and number 77, Masal Kanli, and their libero is number 5, Ruby Davies. And they are led by head coach Carlos Johnson, who doesn't want to join his team on the court this time.
I love the pink socks the coaches are repping for Malory today, bright neon pink.
Yes. Always love it when there's a little bit of extra support from the coaching staff.
Yeah, they're stood with their players on the bench, which is nice to see as well. I must say I love the energy Malory had coming onto the court then. They were high-fiving and dancing around. It's very nice to see that. People having that much fun. It's really cool to see that on the 16 level.
All right.
I think a poll has been put in the group chat by JC on the live stream, and it is 50% at the moment between Leeds and Malory on who's going to win, which is nice. It was 53, so there's been a couple more Malory votes.
Okay, yeah, it's always good to know that we've got an equal amount of support from those at home. So thank you guys for chatting to us. We will keep an eye on the chat as the stream goes along. But we're just about to get underway here with this first match of the day. If you guys are curious as well, so this is court number 1. There's also a live stream going on for court number 2, where we've got the sitting volleyball GP finals going on between Help for Heroes and Sitting Bucks. And if you can make your way to Kettering, there's a sitting volleyball showcase later on today.
Yes, there is. Yeah, midday, I believe it is around.
Yes, we did one a few weeks at the, it was at the Five Nations. There was a sitting volleyball showcase.
Yes, I think there was, yeah.
And it
yeah.
was really
Yeah, I
enjoyable?
went to the sitting volleyball tournament that was held at UEL a few weeks ago as well, and that was a lot of fun. I've never played sitting volleyball before. I've gained a lot of respect for it. The tactical side of it is heavy in sitting volleyball because you're such close quarters of everyone. So if you ever get the chance to play, I would. It is a lot of fun.
Yes.
You just have to smack the ball in the air and hope. So I believe from the looks of this, Malory have the first serve.
Yes. We've got the in-house MCs just asking who's cheering for which team for both of the courts right now. All right. Very exciting. We're just about to start both matches. Here we go. Starting off with a serve from Sen for Malory Eagles. That's a decent pass there. Going straight back out to Ngacha with a strong kill to open things up.
Great swing. It's interesting to me that Malory started with an outside serving. It's an interesting rotation to start in, but I presume they have a plan keeping their setter front row.
Yes, although Leeds are starting out with a middle serving. And that's well long there from Haig. So Metcalf for Eagles with a shorter serve this time. That's a
Good
great
ball.
pass in. Out to Wagbo again, who puts in a tip, and then there's an immediate free ball. I like the idea. It just needed a bit deeper, I think.
Yes.
Great swing there from Ngacha.
I think she saw the line was open on the block then and decided a tip would work quite well. But that's a great back row set, honestly. To spread the pin like that already in under 16 tournaments is really nice to see.
Yes. So Lauren Thorne here to serve. And this time we've got a service error again. A little overcorrection from the previous quite long service.
Yes, you did say in the warm-up they seem to be serving out a lot, so they seem to they're trying to bring it back now.
Okay, so Marta Martin here for Eagles. Oh, and ace service.
Great serve down the seam between the two passes there.
Is she going to aim for Wagbo again, do we think? No, this time going down the line.
There's another great serve.
That ball is somehow kept alive.
Good hustle.
We've got an out-of-system play out to Ngacha with a rolling shot. That's a good pass from Eagles, and they're going to come in with a pipe. That's a decent pickup there, but limited options. So back out to Ngacha, who puts in a really sharp cross-court shot.
Great 4-4 shot. It was nice to see her deep roll went right into the corner as well. It's a real good shot to push the libero back because normally they are quite far up in defense on a cross-court shot.
Yes, smart play already.
Good serving.
Decent pass. And then a big block there from Ngacha.
They seem to be taking cross on everything, which I think is just they're trying to leave line until they see it as a threat tactic here.
That's a good serve from Iwagbo. That's a very tight pass. And unfortunately, Davies can't do anything with it.
Bit of an odd one there because the setter is front row, so she did have the option to jump up. I think she just forgot that she had that ability.
Iwagbo again, this time is long, and that's very well left.
Yeah, good tracking.
So this is a strong serve again, going long this time from Eagles from Canley.
Good communication by the Leeds team there. If you can't hear on the live stream, they all shouted out for their players, which I think is really important, not just the passers communicating for out or in serves.
That's a strong serve there, and it's going to be a free ball from Eagles. Okay pass there from Uwagbo out to Ngacha, who puts in a strong cross-court swing again.
Seeing a theme in the offense on you.
Yes. It is the Ngacha and Uwagbo show, it appears.
It's good setting
It
from
is.
Leeds. Lauren is doing a very good job in Leeds.
So McDo to serve again. That's a much better pass from Eagles this time. Out and a rolling shot. So an out of system play back to Ngacha. But that's a very smart line roll.
Very smart shot.
And this is where the experience of playing in some senior teams as well as the juniors.
Yes, I think her ability to see where the block is and move around it is something that is going to be quite hard to defeat in an under-16s level.
McDo with another strong serve. So Eagles are well out of system. It's going to be a free ball again. Uwagbo takes the pass. That's a good pass. But she gets it straight back as a pipe.
That was a fantastic set and a fantastic swing. She led her right into the front court then so that she could just jump up and hit straight through the ball into the space deep court.
McDo is continuing her service run here. Out of system again for Eagles. So another free ball. What will Leeds do with it this time? A little bit of confusion there. Not sure if that was meant to be a pipe or a middle attack. But straight, that's a great swing. Yeah. And this time, it's taken wide by Machenska.
You'd see the line defender then was very adamant that was an out of court ball.
That's a decent pass there from Uwagbo. But a free ball, not very well handled. And
I think not having Libra on court hurt them a little bit then. Slightly, the middle wasn't quite too sure what to do with the free ball over.
yeah, a bit disappointing there for the Eagles to not be able to do something with that free ball. That's a really strong serve from Ngacha. Out.
Nice
Cross
shot.
court, chase down, kept alive, and it somehow made it over the net. That's a great chase down from the ladies. And a good block this time. That's
Great self-cover.
Yes. Another free ball coming in. Leeds go straight out. And another smart, deep cross-court swing.
Yeah, Leeds are consistently hitting that last foot of court there, which is a really hard place to judge if it's in or out. And usually you do make defenders dive for it thinking they can leave it because they're diving along the back of the court and it will just clip the line. So it's really nice to see them consistently hitting that shot.
And Ngacha with another strong serve. This time it's well long of the baseline.
I will say Leeds have got quite a cold haul, which means you have to hit the ball quite hard sometimes. So I do think that's hurting them a little bit in here because Kettering gets quite hot quite quickly when there's a lot of people. So I think the ball is just flying a little bit longer than they're used to in a warm hall.
Yes. So Davies serves. Machenska with a decent pass. And again, some confusion about whether that was a pipe or a middle set.
Yeah, I think they're going to need to talk about
That's
that
a good
in a
swing.
timeout.
It looked like she was aiming for high hands there, was Sen, but it just goes long.
(12-6) at the moment, so Malory do have a bit of catching up to do, perhaps from the service line.
This will be a good rotation for Leeds, though. They've now got Uwagbo in the front court. Machenska with a very smart, short float serve.
Yeah, that was a good float serve. I think the ball just dropped out of itself then. You see Malory taking a timeout at 13-6. I can suggest he's going to say the pass needs to take a step up. They're getting caught out at the moment with being too far back and then having to launch themselves forwards to get the ball up, which isn't very helpful. We always say you have to start more far up than you can track back. It's easier to track back than it is to shoot yourselves forward.
Yeah, especially with a float serve, because it can move at the last moment.
Yeah.
You can quite easily open up space by stepping one
Yeah,
foot
whereas
back.
when a float serve drops out, it just drops, and there is nothing you can do to get that ball back up unless you launch. I also think that they need to probably think about how they're distributing the ball at the moment. They seem to just be sort of shoving it into areas rather than thinking about what the best option would be for their offense. So creating the first pass and then using the ball wisely is probably the team talk I would give.
Yes.
For Leeds, probably just sorting out their middle pipe attack and cleanly killing the balls a little bit more.
Completely agree with that. And I think if they do have to give a free ball, at the minute, a lot of times it's going just straight into the middle of the court
Yeah,
in 6. So it's making it that much easier
Yeah.
for Leeds.
getting the setter out system a lot more as well.
A big shout for help.
That was a very good high ball, actually. I would suggest that that was a decent pass and it should have got a second touch on it. Perhaps maybe moving it into the middle of the court would be a little bit more helpful. But at the moment, just getting the ball that high and up is a good start.
Yes, not exactly what Coach Johnson would have wanted out of his ladies off of that timeout.
Great serving from McKinska, though.
Got another out of system play, so another free ball. But here again, we've got really high, really easy pass straight to the middle of the court and straight out to Uwagbo.
I have to say that that was a great swing. However, Lauren Tom, that was a fantastic speed set. That was just shot straight out to the pin. And it was a beautiful hands on that ball, yeah.
Another great serve. That's a lot of speed on that. So we've got a pipe coming in this time, but Machinska does well to handle that. To Ngacha in the backcourt, who takes a touch off the block.
I'd suggest experience is winning all overall here. However, I do think we can see that it has bled into the rest of the Leeds team, which is really nice to see. The whole team has just got a lot of confidence and a lot of experience, which will come from having those players that are playing at a slightly higher level.
Machinska again. That could have been going long. Okay. Chase it down, so another free ball. That's well passed by the libero. Straight to pipe. That's a good pipe swing.
A great swing away from the block.
So we've got another free ball coming in. This time aiming for the middle, so that was a little bit better. Oh, that's a really great read block. But confusion on the lead side.
As you said, the difference in the free ball there made a whole point for Malory. So it's being a lot smarter about that free ball could possibly help them if they do have to free ball a lot.
Yes. Yeah, because it had just been consistently in the middle of the court. At least that time it was a bit
Caught
further
the middle
forward.
out, yeah.
Good strong serve here. That goes out to Ngacha in the backcourt.
That was a great set. Again, Lauren is leading a really good offense. I know she is just setting a couple of the same people. However, when she's pulled off the court, she's not afraid to set back row and she's not afraid to set a shoot out. So it's really nice to see how she's spreading the ball at the moment between her two big attackers.
Yes, all of the kills so far in the set have come from Ngacha or Uwagbo, except for one that came from Machinska. So does feel a bit one-dimensional, but if it's working.
Great pass.
Oh, that's a smart set to the backcourt.
Unfortunately for Malory, there isn't much fault here in the Leeds offense and the Leeds passing or setting, so they're going to have to find a weakness elsewhere. I don't know if they want to distribute their block a bit differently or if they want to try and reinforce their pass, but I think their only points really so far have come from missed serves from Leeds.
Yes, so there have been 5 service errors from the Leeds squad. 2 of those actually came from Haig, who's just had her second service error. So Malory serve this time, aiming at the libero, which is an interesting tactic. This time out to the middle.
Nice block.
Another scramble play here on the lead side. Oh, that's good block cover there. A bit of a scramble. We'll go back out to Uwagbo.
Caught out the middle there, back row, unfortunately. I will say that Malory's scramble is fantastic. Their hustle when they have to get the ball back over has been really good. The only way that they have been scored on, apart from that one free ball, has just been killing the ball cleanly. If they've been scrambling, they've got the ball back over. It's really nice to see that hustle in a team.
It is. Oh, we've got a foot fault this time for Lauren Thorne.
Sorry, I have been calling her Lauren Tom, but I think I should put my glasses back on because it is Thorn, not Tom.
It's fine. I called Noah Sykes Nathan in the Final Fours and got rinsed for it in the comments.
Yeah,
but
I bet that was loved.
Yeah, very well deserved. And I even knew because I had watched him in the previous year.
I know your name.
Yeah, like I know this guy's name, and then did it wrong anyway.
So I think we just had a double sub for Malory, which means that they've probably put a setter in back row and an opposite in front row to have that 3-man attack.
So Uwagbo this time goes long, just turns to her setter and says, please put that ball a bit higher for me.
Dalmedia is doing a great job on the block at the moment. She's been in the right place every single time. She's really good at getting across the court side to side, which is really nice to see. Really athletic middle for Malory.
So Foster serves again. It's a decent pass from Michenska here. That's a good set out to Ngacha, who goes high off the block and out. I think we just need to have a little bit of a fix here for the antenna.
We've got Super League Leeds player Ava Alexandra, who's their big outside watching from the airport at the moment in support of Leeds, which is really sweet.
That's the nice thing about YouTube. You can watch from literally anywhere in the world. So
no excuses.
Uwagbo with a good flat float serve. Malory puts in a good swing this time. Goes straight out to Ngacha.
Yeah, I think that was a little bit too tight for them, and then the block did a very good job of getting up in her face then.
Yes, it looks like Leeds are starting to be more comfortable. They've gotten rid of the nerves a bit, so they're starting to try and speed up the offense, but it's maybe just speeding up a little too much.
Yeah.
This is a good pass. Straight to the pipe.
Great shot. That was a great shot. That was out by centimetres then. That was a really good shot into the deep corner. They are catching Malory out a lot with the deep offense. However, I think the short serves and the deep offense have thrown them a little bit and they don't quite know where to stand during gameplay.
So Canley to serve. That's a good float serve. You could see the movement as it was coming at us. Out to Michenska. Out. Oh, and then scramble on the lead side as Uwagbo's pass doesn't quite go where she wants it. Oh. But that's a smart free ball to put over. That's a good pass from Uwagbo here. Going back out to Michenska, who's blocked, but that's a good block cover. She's going to go again. This time, she thinks she takes a touch off the block. Yes, first referee agrees with her.
That was a great free ball there. They caught the middle in the setter in transition from back row to front row, and so therefore everyone was running around a little bit, and there was quite a lot of space around her, so she was forced to touch it. But it was a really good opportunity for Malory to get that point.
Yeah,
creeping back in with 12-20 on the score.
McDo's serve looked like it was better pass, but it's actually gone over the net.
Great hustle.
Great. And then Ngacha tries to do something with that ball.
Yeah, I think Lauren misjudged how far away from opposite she was then and how far off the net she was. Little tricky when your backcourt outside has passed the ball because she's not ready for a pipe attack. So that probably was the best option for her, just misjudged where she was on court.
Yeah. So Dalmedia to serve now for the Eagles. This is a good serve.
Great serve.
But what a pass from Uwagbo there. Straight up to Michenska.
Great defense by middle.
Yes. I love the communication here from Davies. Oh, that's good self-block cover from Michenska, but that sets over the net, which gives Malory a good swing chance. And they did not take advantage of it this time.
I will say that is a great shot over the block into the deep court there because no one is covering, which means the 6 of the libero has to sweep behind the block from their defensive position and read if it's going in or out. So keep going for the shot, I would say is a great shot.
Completely agree with that. That brings up Ngacha to serve. And this one into the net.
Interesting that she's going back to position 5 to serve from instead of position 1. I don't know if she's played middle in a past club or anywhere, but that tends to be why people serve from position 5.
So Malory have not reversed this double substitution. So they now have a front court setter. Michenska with a smart rolling shot.
Great cover.
And that's going to get called for a double.
I think she just misjudged how high that ball was, and then it caught her under the chin, and she could actually volley it.
Bit unfortunate for the Eagles that time.
We've got Carol Gordon in the live stream chat as well.
I'm sure she's dancing along.
Fly high Eagles. So
Right, it's 23-14 for Leeds, so Machen's got free reign here to serve as hard as she wants. That's a good serve.
I've liked the confidence on the service line.
Smart tip from Thorne.
That was a perfectly placed dump, actually. It caught out all three defenders and they were sort of stood staring at it. It was a good hustle there by number 12. Zonia, I'm going to say, because I think I will mess that surname up quite badly.
I'm going to have a go at it.
Okay.
Are we ready for this?
Yeah.
If I butcher this,
It is,
please don't rinse me in the chat.
It's a double barrel surname and it is like the full page.
I think it's Andruskavitsk.
Oh, okay. Andruskavitz.
Yeah.
That's very good. Andruskavitz Alia.
Yeah. So we'll go with that, and hopefully it's correct. And if it's not, then somebody I'm sure will tell us in the chat. But I've ruined it. But that's fine. Right, so second time out. It's set point for Leeds. Not much that Malory can do at this point. The first referee just reminding Coach Johnson that the ladies need to get back on the court because they've run over their 30 seconds.
I think Leeds' service have just been outstanding in this set and they've just swept it away. So we'll see what they do on set point.
Yes. That's a very good serve. So we've got a free ball. Shorter this time, but not so short that it lands on the middle. And straight out to none other than Nwagbo.
You can see the line defender there has felt a little bit like a gun has been shot at her as she's getting up off the floor.
Yes.
Interesting that she's down as an outside, but I do believe she's playing as a opposite, isn't she?
Yes, I believe so. So, yeah, they can change. They're young. They can still change around a lot. I mean, we've seen it in the Super League as well. There's a couple of players that have changed positions since.
Yes, yeah.
So it does happen. Very convincing first set win for Leeds Gorse.
25-14. I will say that Malory did a good job in they got to about 2011 and they managed to they didn't look like they were being absolutely every single time the ball just hit the floor. They were scrambling for everything. It was just unfortunate that Leeds were having a slightly smarter day than them, I would suggest, in terms of placement of balls and everything. Their free balls could be a little bit harder to get by Leeds. Leeds service is just, for me, that is yes, they are making big swings, but their service hasn't given Malory one chance to put a ball over properly yet. So
yes, it has been tough. I think Malory have had, 2 or 3 clean swings in the entire set, which is a very small number, and Leeds have done a good job as well of defending that. So we're going to take a very brief break, and we'll be back in just a moment's time for set number 2.
Okay, we're going back into the second set now. Malory have kept their double sub change that they made, keeping Andrew Kovacic.
We'll just call her Ayala for now.
Ayala.
And we've also got Foster.
Yes, which they changed in the middle of last set and seem to have kept, which I would agree with. They seem to play a much stronger game after they made that change, which is interesting, actually.
Sometimes, from a mental standpoint, you just have one player that's mentally more prepared for something.
Yeah, and also it's nice when you have bench people who have been watching the game and they sort of understand the space a bit more and they know what's happening. So it'd be interesting if they make the sub again and these players come back on.
Interesting, they're kind of hiding Davies in the service reception here.
It was a great serve, just dropped short.
Smart for Leeds to start off.
They've put Charlotte McKinska straight back into the serve, as she was the one who finished off the set last time. So that is a nice, I like that. It keeps the server in that mindset, and she's clearly doing very well in it. So
yes. So again, ooh, that's a very smart serve straight down the line.
yeah, she's really moving the ball around. I think that's what the important thing is for Leeds. They're not all serving cross, they're not all serving line, they're mixing it around. That ability to do that in a service run is actually incredible because it's such a mental thing to be like, right, now I'm going to do the opposite serve to what I have been doing. So it's really impressive to see that at under 16 level.
Yes. So Machenska's serve again. Another float serve, and this time it's a bit of a miss here by Sen.
You could see Mamu looking at her coach then saying, oh, is it a different, oh, I see, yeah. It's Sen looking at her coach then saying, how do I get that up? But she was giggling, which is nice to see. They're not downhearted by any of this.
So, ooh, a short one this time. That was an odd choice from the service reception there for Kenley to make her way over from kind of position 5.5.
It was interesting that the Libero didn't step forward for that. It was sort of cut off by a different player. I think their communication in the service receive needs to be a little bit more amped up right now. They're very quiet.
So the service run continues. And another ace. What a start for the Leeds Gorse.
What a start to the weekend, really. The level of volleyball being played is outstanding. An early timeout at 4-0 for Malory. I think a big thing Malory could be doing is shifting their pass around, creating different areas of space, and perhaps if they have a better passer, leaving her more of the court and making it a bit more obvious, serve at me, because as you said, there wasn't much scouting on Malory, and these teams haven't faced before, so it's quite interesting that they're going in with fresh faces and they've just decided to move the ball around and the serve, because they don't quite know who the best passer is at the moment.
Yes, and the service pressure, I will say, from Leeds is really high, because these are really flat float serves and they're moving quite a lot. So it's difficult even if you are an experienced passer. So serve again. This time it's up, but it's going to be a free ball. Into better space this time, but a pipe comes in.
That was actually a very smart free ball because it caught out yes, it caught out a Wagbu, which meant that she wasn't optioned for hitting, and therefore they had to go somewhere else. So hopefully they keep that up with free balls.
So Sen serves. That's a great pass here from Leeds. Out to Ngacha in the backcourt. Straight through that gap in the block.
Unfortunately, the middle was a little bit late then for Malory's team.
I think Leeds are taking advantage here that they've got some tall players that are really high jumpers. They've got some athletic.
Yeah, and I think the coaches have done a really good job of splitting up their two big hitters across the court, which means it's a really hard task for the middles on the other side of the court to try and figure out where they need to be.
That was a much better pass on that service reception. So free ball and then a net touch.
Oh, that's unfortunate for Malory.
Yeah, so Metcalf there in the net. She looks a bit disappointed about that one.
We'll see if they side up quickly with a middle and back row for Leeds.
That's a good serve. But a tip. That's well covered by Machinska. who has to put in a rather awkward rolling shot that might have been going out.
Suggest Malory need to get their energy up a little bit. They look a little bit defeated right now, which is a shame. You can hear their bench isn't at all disheartened by any of this, though.
Good. Oh, there we go. Another long service.
That was a great confident leave there.
It was. So Haig again. So that's her third service error of the match.
I mean, I wouldn't mind. There's this thing, isn't there? Like you can make errors if you're making aces. So if the rest of the team are keeping that up, I wouldn't be too disheartened by it. That was a great short serve. Not too sure if she meant to do that by the way she walked on the court, but an ace is an ace, and that was a great serve. So
yeah, I think she thought that wasn't going over the net, but really exciting. Good point for Metcalf there. Serves again.
They do seem to be serving at the libero.
Bit of a let off there for Eagles.
Yeah.
Rare error from Awagbo, putting that ball long.
I think if Malory are going to consistently have a gap in the block, their sixth defender needs to start stepping in and taking that because it is killing them at the moment.
That's a good longer serve, but that's a great pass from Awagbo.
Oh, smart play. That was a very, very smart play. Thorne knew there was a middle in back row who wasn't probably going to be as ready as a libero and just tipped it over the top of the block. It's great ball control to see there.
Yes, really well placed that. So Thorne to serve into the net.
That's a second error, isn't it?
Yes.
It's interesting to see as well that Leeds have got a massive height difference this year to the Malory team. They've got a very, very tall team, which is hard to play around when you're shorter. So it's interesting that these two have been matched up in the final.
Yes, but it's really good experience for the Malory girls because as an undersized player, you have to learn to hit around a bigger block.
Yeah, you need to learn your tool belt.
Back to the pipe. This time it's long.
I suggest she was looking for hands there and just missed them. The middle from Malory turned around and gave a big wide-eyed stare to her group.
I do like to see juniors running things like the pipes and running
Yeah,
other
it's
plays.
really cool to see, actually.
Yeah. Oh, that's a beautiful pass.
Whoa.
And that's a very quick play.
Yeah, so we, at Essex, we call that a bounce because it just shoots out of the hand back row to the opposite back out of the hands, and then they just pop up and ready. And with the athleticism on the Leeds team, there's no excuse for them not to be doing that on perfect passes. It's really cool to see them running an offense like that. Communication levels are high to be able to do that. So
Warbo serves.
great
That's
pass.
much better passing. Block is not covered.
That's a shame that, as I said, Malory's number 7. Sorry, I'm just finding the sheets. Media, she has a great swing, so to be able to get a double block up on that is a really key aspect for Leeds when they get those perfect passes. There is a tighter gap in the set. It's 10-6 now.
We're going to have a free ball. I think Malory just trying to keep that one in play more than anything else. But Ngacha cross court again.
Hard to stop it.
She's well over the height of the block, so we'll watch that one again.
Yeah, I think Malory needs to take a little look at their defensive positioning, actually. They all seem to be crouched in the middle of the court rather than spread out, and at the moment Leeds are just taking advantage of all the space.
That's very well handled by Malory.
That was a fantastic tip. I didn't think that was going over the net until it fell to the floor.
Really smart play there. She saw that she had a big block in front of her. MacDo's up there with quite hot hands, and Gacha's right next to her, leaving a space open at position 2.
Fantastic serve.
We've got a swing from the libero. Love it when that happens. Going back out to the outside. That's a good, strong swing. Finally
and
from
Malory seemingly have entered the game now. That serve, I don't know if you saw that because you were doing the stats, but it was about that far off the net tape when it went over. So
exactly what you want from a service height. So Kenley's going to serve again. That's a really beautiful serve. You can see the movement in the tip,
clever
but this
tip.
time well covered. And it's called in by the line judge.
Those points, we always look at each other and say a point's a point because people are apologising for not getting the ball up. But if you shank a ball over the net and it's a point, no one cares. It's a point. Closing the gap here, 9-12.
Hanley with another serve.
She's really liking that seam.
It's a smart place to serve. Oh, and the block touch is almost picked up by Ayala.
I really like how Awagbo is actually cutting the ball with her hand into different spaces. She's not using her body to move it, she's using her hand to move it, which is really clever because it keeps the defense on their toes. They don't know where it's going to go. You can't judge by her body line, which is really nice to see.
Exactly. So MacDo serves. That's very well left.
You can hear someone shouting in then on the sideline.
Why not? So now for Malory, we're going to have Delmedia serve. And her jump float is just under the height of the net. Gotcha serve. This is a short one. That's a decent pass. Just gonna get that one back. Well picked up from Machenska, going out to Ngacha in the backcourt. Not quite making the connection this time.
No, I think that's only one of her second mistakes actually on offense today, which is actually, you know, you can't get mad at this level for people making mistakes, especially when they're swinging that many balls, you know. It's shocking that she's only made 2 really, which is very impressive, so.
Yeah, no, to be fair to her, I think one of those, that set was really low.
Yes, it was that one, wasn't it? Yeah.
So that's a great pass here, but she gets it back. Awagbo.
What's impressive to me about this pipe attack is how her arm sort of like it will get slow up to her head and then the last second will just be the quickest arm swing down on top of the ball. It's really impressive to see her have that amount of speed onto the ball. It's hard to do that at this level. You see a lot of slow arm swings, but she's really mastered the crack on top of it.
Oh, that's a beautiful serve. Machenska starting another ace run, potentially.
Yeah,
As a
her
reminder,
serve has been a massive asset to this team.
Oh, yeah. She started the set with 5 aces in a row.
Well, there we go.
So
they've done well to close the gap, actually.
Yes, they have. Oh, Malory went on a good run and had 3 kills in a row. Down the line this time. Oh, that's a beautiful pass. Or not.
Managed to get it over.
And then out to
great block touch.
So we've got a free ball going over to Leeds. Slightly better placement this time, but it's still a beautiful pass. And this time Awagbo over the top of the block.
Yeah, I think the first time the block timed themselves really well. The second time they were just a little bit too late. I think they were hesitant to, they don't quite know what to do with the shoot set that's being set out that far.
It's interesting to see that Malory haven't started to cheat towards the outside because...
Yeah, especially when she's front row as well, so...
Yeah. That's a beautiful serve.
I think it's the threat of the 10 at the moment that's making them...
Yes. No, that's fair, because Ngacha's been quite prolific from that backcourt opposite position. So we've got second timeout here for Malory. At 18-11. So it is a bit closer in this set than it was in the previous set.
Yeah, and they're not looking like they're being drowned as much either. They're managing to fight back a bit, which is nice. I think they just need to get themselves into a bit more like, and they're doing very well on, like, as I said, getting scroungy touches on the ball, but they need to start thinking proactively about, oh, she keeps hitting here and here and here, and the spaces here. Like, they're very bunched up in defense, so perhaps spreading themselves out a little bit more. They're good at diving to the side and picking the ball up, so they need to give themselves the space to do that.
Yes. Very, very well observed. Completely agree with that. I think what they need to do first, though, is somehow get Machenska off of the service line.
Yes. It's hard, isn't it? You can't really point out a weak area at the moment for Leeds. There's no one that you can see and be like, oh, maybe this is the sort of person they should be aiming at, but...
So Machenska again, this one's a bit deeper. Oh, that's a good pass, though. Good swing there from Ayala. To the middle, there's a miscommunication, and she touches the net.
That's exactly what you said they needed.
It is.
Machinska is now off the serve.
The referee just reminding the players that between points, the ball has to be swapped out in this multi-ball system.
Do you know why it has to be? Is it just to keep the...
I think it's just the way that the multi-ball system works. Like when you look at the FIVB rules, like it says you should swap them
if
out.
you're running this, okay. Did she say boom or she hit?
I thought she did.
I think she went up and said boom as she hit that. You've got to give her the props for the confidence there.
It was perfect. I mean, it was
Yeah.
exactly where she wanted it to be.
There was the tiniest gap in the block.
And she found it.
Yep.
Going to have a substitution here for Leeds Gorse as we see Egan Rua come in, replacing MacDo through the middle. We've got Haig serving. It's a good serve this time. Good pass from Eagles. Straight to the outside. Defended from Haig. Oh, confusion here. Giving Eagles a good opportunity. They come through the pipe. And did that take a touch off the block?
No, but it was that was about half a foot out of the back of the court. It was a very, very good deep shot.
Yeah, that was a smart swing from Sen. She might have been aiming for the hands or just on the edge of them.
Yeah. I think they're just aiming for the seams at the moment between 6-1, 6-5, which is a good choice.
Haig serves again. Good pass by Canley. She gets it back. And that's a great swing, taking advantage of the fact that Haig is in the backcourt.
Yeah, I've just seen the opposite come up to our setter and say maybe you need to start spreading the ball around a little bit more. I think Malory, the thing is they've only been using their outsides, so it's hard for the blockers to not be in the right place on Leeds.
Metcalf serves. They're still serving at the libero, Davies. And this time, the new entrant onto the court, Egarua, with an error.
It's good to see them using their middles, though. I think that's probably one of the first out of like 3 or 4 swings in the middle in the past 2 sets.
Metcalf with another serve. Great pass from Machenska here. Straight to the middle again.
She's up, though. I think she's just worried too much about the block, actually. She seems to be just trying to cut it too hard instead of just using, like, she's higher than the block. She can hit into the block if she wants to. We saw how powerful her arm was in the warm-up, so
yeah.
If they run her again, I would just tell her hit straight into that block and see what happens.
Metcalf again. Good pass there from Obako. Going back out to Ngacha, who has to adjust to that ball. Ooh, confusion on Malory's side, so it's going to be free ball.
Great free ball.
Smart placement. Out to Iwagbo.
That's the dig we needed.
There you go. Canley with a smart cross-court swing.
Go.
And you can see all of the excitement on the Malory girls' faces.
The 6th player just cutting into that seam and picking up that ball was all they've needed this whole game. So if they keep doing that, then they should be able to fight back a bit here. It's only 2016.
Yeah. It was almost as though they heard you because the defense had actually spread itself out quite a lot more.
Do we think their assistant coach is actually listening?
Maybe. I would be. Why not?
Was that an ace on Machinska?
Yes.
Yes. So they've heard you as well.
Yes. Getting their own back after all those
for Leeds.
Yes. This is their first time out in the match.
Yes, it is. If I was the Leeds coach, I wouldn't really know what to be saying right now. I'd just, come on, girls, get your energy back up and confidence back up. I think the confidence has just dropped down with them not winning a few points in a row. So,
yeah, and this is the point where, you know, we mentioned, and it's hard to keep in mind when you're watching this play happen because both of the teams are quite good, but they are under 16.
Yes.
Like, these are quite young players.
You have a lot of lack of confidence at that. There's a lot of not babying, but like building people that needs to be done.
Exactly, and you've got that lack of experience, I guess, because there's times when in a volleyball match, when you're younger and you don't have the experience of playing at this sort of level, you do feel more stuck, but then over time you learn that when the point is over, you have to let that one go. It no longer
hard
exists.
to do that. It's really hard. There's a lot of tears in 16 volleyball, as parents will probably know if they are listening.
Yes. So Metcalf to serve again. Good serve there, but that's a good pass from Machinska this time. And then, of course...
Yeah, there's no stopping that swing. There was open net and I would suggest that maybe the opposite blocker, as we can see here, has taken the line. She hasn't hit line once. She needs to step in and take that cross court, be aggressive. I think it's really hard for people to understand they're not setting the pin for the middle. You have to go up and you're blocking the people.
Thorne with a good serve. Back out to Canley.
Good cover.
Trying to go for something smart then. Free ball this time.
Got them out of system.
Good call from Sen then. Out to the middle. That set was a little too low for Dalmedia. So we're going to go out to Owagbo again. Is she going to pick it up?
Oh, that was a great touch.
It was a great touch, and it was a really good chase as well.
It was a good rally. You're seeing Malory play a lot smarter game now. I think they've probably been told you need to stop free balling the ball straight onto the middle of the backcourt outside and start moving it around. They have done that, which is really good to see.
So Thorne serves again. Good pass from Sen. Ayala, that's a bit deep. Sorry, a bit too far forward. And then a tip comes back. A little bit of scramble stuff on both sides, but through the pipe. Awkward block touch. And then Owagbo has a free net, but a great dig. But Leeds do get a free ball off of that one. So they're going to go back to the middle. But that's a beautiful block.
I think the thing to remember when blocking is if you're late, it's going to be easier than if you're early because you've got the power going on the way up and none of the power on the way down. But that was a fantastic dig by Davies there, back row. I suggest that her base position where she was caught out then on the open net kill was the right place to be.
Yeah, to get a dig at all on swing that hard when somebody's got an open net, that's a feat in itself. So Ayala serves, unfortunately, just short of the net. We're going to have that double substitution swapped. We'll see Davies.
It's a smart thing to do at a much tighter set, but it's 18-23. There's still a chance for you to get on a service run or get some points back here.
Bit of an awkward setup on the service reception. They didn't change for the change in position, but rotationally they were still fine.
I've seen a lot of balls actually bit crossed over in front of the libero. It seems as if they're working on a system the libero takes deep balls and the other players cut in and take the short balls, which can work sometimes, but I prefer when you just run in seams of lines and you take your seam.
Yeah.
But it was a great deep push.
It was. So set point for Leeds. Owagbo. That's a good pass. And Almeida with a great deep swing. So they're going to get a free ball back.
It's great to see them go back to that player.
Smart from Almeida there. But what a set.
Oh, I think she just caught out there in transition, trying to pass the ball and then get off and then come back onto the ball. It's just a bit too much for her. The set seems to be a little bit too low as well. I suggest like you run the speed but give her a bit more height. She jumps high. She has a high reach.
Yeah, she saw Thorne coming, so her pass to Thorne overhand, and it was a short pass. She didn't give herself enough time to get back. That's a good, strong serve from Kenley. Back out to the middle.
Oh. That would have been great if Dalmedia had blocked her back after she just roofed her, but
yes,
it's a good point to end on using the middle.
Yeah, great set. Some really great rallies in that.
Yeah, I want to see Malory in the next set. As I said, it's going to take a while for them to grow, I think, because it's a nerve-wracking game to play in, so we'll see what happens.
Right, we will take a minute or two break, and then we'll be back for set number 3, where we could see the end of our first match of the day. Or we might not.
Or we might see Malory have a claim back.
Yeah, so thank you guys for listening so far. We'll be back in just a moment's time.
that's why I did it. Because it makes it easier for you to, if I'm like doing that, you can, but also it's easy to see that.
All right, welcome back. We're just about to kick off set number 3 in this under 16 girls final. Just a reminder, we've had Leeds Gorse win the first 2 sets. Set 1 was 25-14, and set number 2 was much tighter at 25-19. So we're just about to find out if they'll take this one in 3 sets. What are you thinking, Tara?
I wouldn't be surprised, but it would be nice to see Malory have the same fight they had in the last set, perhaps have a little lead in points at some point. I know they can do it. We've seen it in the past set. Like, they came back from a 5-point, as you said, service run at the beginning of the set. So
yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what they do this time. Their free balling game has been a lot more tactical as well, rather than just pushing it back over. So
first referee just having a chat with the 2 captains.
I think they're saying they just need to get back on court a little bit quicker.
Yeah, there's been a bit of frustration in the timeouts as well, with both teams being a little bit slow to come back on court. So they'll just not pass that message back on to their coaches. That's fine. Right, so
Perhaps it wasn't what we would think it was.
okay. So we're going to have Sen start us off for the Eagles.
I have to say, I've been finding it very odd how the Libero has been passing on Leeds. Like, their setup has been very specific. That was a great
Straight out from Machenska. Well chased, but they're not going to get that one back.
That was a great set by Thorne as well. A dig over her shoulder towards it. She got it perfectly placed for Machinska. She just hit it deep cross court really well.
I really do like them swinging deep cross court. It gives you the longest distance, so you're less likely to hit out.
Yeah.
It's been really open on the Malory side, and the block hasn't been closing, so you've got plenty of space between.
Yeah, exactly. The seam is a really important place to be able to hit deep as well, because people will be crossing over to get it, so you'll catch out defenders in that position.
That's a good pass to start off. Through the pipe, but well defended. Out to Ngacha. Tip this time, but picked up. And then a rolling shot. That's a little too easy for the Leeds ladies,
Yeah,
but they
just
go out
need
to the
to-
Wagbo.
You could just play that shot on repeat for them, really, couldn't you? It's whole of Leeds' offense, but it works, so keep hitting it. I think the thing is, as well, as the Libero in that court has so much space to defend. Like, they have to get the short 4-4, the roll shot in front. Like, they've got such a big area to cover that deep isn't really on their mind at the moment.
So Machenska serves again.
Strong serve.
We're going to have a free ball. That's not the best free ball pass. And then a bit wide there from Haig.
You can see some of the teams arriving for the games upcoming on the day. The stands are filling out a bit more.
So Tuggy's first serve, new entrant onto the court in this set. Oh, that's well read. Straight out to.
That was a great
Yeah.
swing.
So out of system for Leeds, standing roll shot. Picked up, going straight out to Ayala. Thorne, that's a really impressive set.
I'm shocked that she was able to cut that so well down the line there, because that was her, like when we say down the line, you mean down the line of her body line, because that's where her line would be for the shot. So it's impressive that she's able to cut that like that. It's hard to do that turning away. It's a lot easier when you're playing outside because you're turning in.
Haig serves into the net this time. It's a decent start for Malory, though. They got Michenska off the service line fairly early on.
Yeah, I think they've got a lot louder and a lot more confident, which is really good to see. It's impacting their game.
So Kenley
Good
serves
lead
long.
by Michenska.
So Thorne to serve.
Great serve.
So we've got out of system, so there's going to be a free ball coming. Again, I think that free ball just needs to be a bit shorter.
Yeah, they need to think about it a little bit more. Especially if you make the choice to not swing and you are going to free ball, you have that time to think about where you're going to place it, because it's a set, so it is going to be high and loopy. So you just need to take, I'm going to free ball right, where am I going to free ball should be the next thought, not getting it over the net.
Yeah, think about, is your setter back court or front court? Should I put it where she's going to be transitioning towards the net? That kind of stuff. That's a smart swing there from Dalmedia. Michenska from the back court puts in a smart roll.
You can see some of the Malory girls are a little disappointed that ball wasn't picked up by their team, so it's interesting how they might come back from this.
They did have a strong mental game in the last set, so we have seen them come back from bigger deficits.
Yeah, I think they're struggling without some momentum plays they're probably used to. They haven't really... Well, if you look at their past history, they haven't dropped a set before, so it's interesting to see them in this situation. This is a really out of their comfort zone situation.
Yes, that's a good point, actually, because mentally, how do you deal with losing when you're so used to winning? That's a beautiful set.
She ripped that ball. She saw the block was late, she ripped it, and she's lucky it went out, but with the oomph she put behind it, we're not surprised.
Yeah. I'm not sure if she was going for the block out, but...
No, I don't think the block was going to get there in her mind, but
yeah.
Point's a point.
Love to see that confidence. And I think sometimes when you are down several points, actually being confident despite the scoreline can help.
Yeah.
And an ace service to follow that up.
How many times have Leeds been aced?
I think that's only the
First
third,
and second,
maybe? Second or third time?
Low numbers.
There were 2 in the last set. And there were none in the first set, so yeah. That's a bit unfortunate that there was a miscommunication there.
That was a really good up by Lauren Thorne to be able to just pop it up and make an attack for her pipe attack whilst running away from the net, digging and chasing down a ball. Lovely pass.
That's beautiful. But a big block.
It's unfortunate. Who is number?
So
Ben is a fantastic passer. Like, she really gets her platform in the right place and just pops the ball up every time. It's really nice to see, actually.
Right, so Owagbo is going to continue this service run here. Aiming at the libero for Eagles this time. That set's not quite far out enough to get to Sen. But Michenska has a good swing there. And it's...
Oh.
I think she's okay.
I think she's just taken a minute.
Yeah. Big swing there from Michenska. To take that away from the defenders. That was a good chase down, though, to go all the way to the advertising boards. Have the awareness as well to jump over the ball girl stool.
Yes. Lucky the ball girl wasn't in the stall at the time.
And what a serve from Owagbo, who does a little shimmy after that one.
Oh, she's so happy with herself.
I mean, a 1-5 down the line, postage stamp into the corner.
Yeah.
That's probably one of the hardest serves to pull off.
Yes. Yeah, definitely. And she aced probably Malory's best passer, so Be proud of yourself.
Yes. What do you say to your players at this point? You can't really coach them in the middle of the match.
The
You just-
libero is doing a good job of being in the right space, but I think she's just holding out a flat platform and letting that deep ball just fly off of it. In defense, she needs to sort of drop her shoulders a little bit more and scoop it up. Even if she puts it high in the middle, just give something for your team to work with, because she's in the right spot. It's just currently like flat pancaking, flying off of her like platform.
Yeah, you do have to think about the angle of your shoulders to get that ball. And you're right, even high in the middle of the court is enough to put up a ball that the setter can have some options with. So Uwagbo out of the timeout. And that serve is not well handled, so there's going to be another free ball. Again. And that set was a little too low there for Agacha.
Yeah, it's a shame actually, because in the first set, their connection, that opposite set of connection was really strong, and it seems to just have dipped slower and lower. But I think it's because on a perfect ball, Thorn has started setting the shoots a lot more because they've established that. So she's not as used to now setting the ball, and she's only been doing it when she's off the net, which is a bit harder to track for an opposite over your shoulder.
That's a beautiful pass there from Uwagbo.
Great
And
tip.
then a net touch, unfortunately.
It was a great tip.
It was a great tip.
She's not happy about that. Bless.
It is frustrating. You know, you do something and you do your best to keep out of the net when there's a tight set. And it was a really smart play. So Dalmedia to serve. Oh, that's a smart serve, but very well passed from Machenska. And Uwagbo.
Great block, great take.
Got a free ball coming back for Leeds. Short again, see that little bit of extra scramble, but then Machenska with an open net. Good scramble here from Leeds.
Oh.
Well read. But that overpass.
Yeah, that is the one thing really you can't do with the Leeds team, is give them an overpass, because there will be someone with the jump to just go up and smack it back into the floor, unfortunately. That was a really good rally between the two teams. Great scoop defense as well from Malory during that play.
So Egenrua here to serve for Leeds as they pair him with a 6-point advantage, but that one goes into the net. I think that toss is a little too low. So we're going to have a substitution. MacDo's going to come in for Haig.
I think that's just to establish a bit more height in the front row.
Yeah, MacDo was quite good in the first set. Not necessarily blocking a lot, but getting herself into a position where Malory felt like they had to hit around her. So that's a good pass here. Going straight up. That's a smart tip from Machenska, but it's blocked. So Ngacha, again, not quite comfortable with that one, but doing something smart with it.
Yeah, the sets weren't quite pushed out enough then for neither of the pins to hit the ball, so they've used that really well there, Machenska. That was a really good recycle off of the block.
It's always good to have that awareness to be able to self-cover.
Yeah.
Ngacha serve. It's an okay pass. That's a great swing there from Sen. Machenska with what a line shot.
Incredible swing. Snuck that past the defender.
Yeah.
I do think she meant to do that. I just don't think she meant to do it quite as well as she did it. She sort of turned around and like gave a little confident shrug of the shoulders to her team. So
yeah, you could see that like crossbody
swing
to get it down the line. Good serve from Ngacha there. So it's going to be a free ball again. Sen calling her teammates off, but that ball is quite high, giving Leeds too much time. But MacDo.
It's unfortunate that. I think something Leeds could establish, not obviously now at the end of the season, is a quicker middle run. I think you see a lot of the players are used to tempo, and so the running a meter in the middle is probably throwing them off as a team a whole a little bit, because it's suddenly slowing down the whole game.
Good serve from Sen. So Ngacha in the backcourt.
Good take.
Well defended. So free ball back out to Leeds. What will they do with it? Machenska with a rolling shot.
She's very confident. I think she's really established herself once in the offense here. It's nice to see. She's using her shot tool belt very well. It's also nice to see that Thorn is taking those sharp, not sharp, tight overpasses and really establishing herself as able to set them really tight on the net and throwing them out to the outside. It's really good to see that.
Yes. Interested to see what's going to happen with Michinska on the service line here. Another one of those. And that one just dropped like a stone.
It did. I think there's a little bit of confusion here between Sen and the Davies, the Libero. They've been back and forth with the pass all day today, and somehow they've just managed to drop that one between them.
Oh, and a tape roller, but that's well watched. So we're going to have a free ball. I feel like that one was high enough to at least get a standing swing on, though.
Yeah.
And a smart tip from Wagbo is well read, but I think somebody's taken a shoe to the face.
They're back up. They're playing.
Confusion. That's a great pickup from Sen. What a pass. And Ayala is blocked straight down by Thorn.
That is an incredible block. That press was really, really impressive.
I think that was the best block that we've seen today.
Yes.
Really well formed. There's no gap between MacDo and Thorn on that one.
No, yeah.
And it just goes straight down.
It's great to see, like, she's a taller setter and she's establishing herself on the pin as a blocker, and that was really nice to see. It's a big part of something that setters can do, is offensively shut other people down with a block. They quite didn't know what to do with that one then, did they? They're not used to Michinska missing, which is a compliment to herself.
Yes, it is. Very rare service error from her, but considering the number of serves that she has had and the number of aces that she's had in this match, it's been really impressive. 9 aces in this match from her.
Oh, there's a substitution for Malory. Oh, they're doing a middle serving substitution, so
we've got Mariana Hantakau coming in as a serving sub. And we're going to have a time delay warning for Malory.
It's interesting that, because I don't actually think they did a time delay then. It felt very slow.
I think it was because the libero was still on the court. So out to Ngata in the backcourt. That's a great swing, but what a dig.
Great dig.
Oh, that's a smart rolling shot.
Yeah.
So free ball back to Malory here.
She's really good at just dribbling that.
Ayala
over.
with a much... Oh, and Malory very upset with that one. What a dig. So Thorn puts it out to Uwagwa, who puts that one down.
I have to say that Sen's defense then was incredible. A one-arm dig across the court, just launching herself into the right space, getting underneath it. That's commendable.
Yep.
You can see that.
2 really massive digs from her in that. You can see that Dalmedia is just talking to the first referee.
She is the captain.
She is the captain, yes.
Just had to check that.
She is the captain. Just talking to the first referee because I don't know if you saw during that point, Ayala was saying that one of the Leeds ladies had touched the net.
Oh, I didn't see that, no.
She was very adamant about it and shouted quite loud. So
it's tricky when you're the second ref because you're always looking at the team that's defending the ball rather than the team that's attacking the ball. Yeah. So sometimes if there is something that happens like that, it's hard to see it.
So Thorn with a smart
dump. Do you know what I like is that she hasn't done too many of those, so when she does it, it is very sneaky, and it is a massive part of a setter's tool belt. So to be able to like establish that as such a sneaky part of her like skill set is really impressive.
Yes, I think the way she disguises it as well.
Yeah, she's got a beautiful jump set.
So MacDo serves again. This one's well long.
I think that's okay when the score is 10-19. You can have a few of them.
Yes. Yeah, they've got a big enough lead that it's probably okay. Seems likely at this point that Leeds will take this one in 3. So Kenley puts in a good serve. Michinska with a good pass. It shoots straight out to Uwagbo. Dalmedia has no chance of getting out to that ball in time.
Interesting that they've kept, from where they did that serving sub, I think they've kept her on as a defender, as Malory have only got 1 libero today. I think their libero was just getting a little bit stressed out on court, so they've had to establish someone else coming in. So it's quite smart. They've just done a defensive sub instead of a...
Yeah, she has been the target for all of the serves, basically.
Yeah.
And then Thorn trying to put in a short serve. which we haven't seen a lot from Leeds. So the idea is there.
Yeah.
Just didn't quite make it across the net this time. So Ayala to serve for Eagles.
Great serve.
Oh, what a set.
It's unfortunate their connection has gone today. It's like they started off so strong in the first set and their connection just seems to have dwindled a little bit throughout the game, but it's nice to see that they're still trying to get some swings out of each other.
Oh, that's a bit unfortunate there for Ayala. That's a good serve. Oh, wow, that was very
That
close.
was very close.
From up here, it looked like it could have tagged the line.
Yeah.
But obviously the line judges stood on the line and
Yeah,
has
I
the
won't
best
argue
view.
with people down there.
No, definitely not. It's a very awkward angle for us to be able to see.
Fantastic serve there.
Yes.
So they're reversing that substitution now, so the middle is coming back in for the defensive specialist backcourt.
Yeah.
She did a very good job, actually.
She did, and you know, just to give the libero a couple of points to, I don't know, reset herself because she's been the target for all of the serving. So, oh, that's a very good serve from Dalmedia there. Out to Machenska with a happy roll up the tape go.
Yeah, I think she's looking for high hands now because the block is quite low against her, so she's using it to her advantage, which is quite nice to see. I do think that's something Malory have struggled with, is not having necessarily the tallest people front court blocking people that need a block up in front of them.
Yeah. So we've got Egenrua coming to serve now. It's a very strong serve that might have been going long.
I think that probably was going long.
And then again, some confusion on who was taking that ball. So a collision on the Malory side. Gives Ngacha plenty of
the
space.
bounce. I think something that has really killed Malory is also the fact that none of their points have really been momentum points, unfortunately, so they haven't had much confidence infused into them throughout the game. So whereas Leeds have been doing points like that over and over and over again, so they've had a lot of confidence.
It's a good serve there. So it's going to be a free ball. Perfect pass from Awagbo. Shoot to Machenska.
It was a good defensive position. It's unfortunate she did pick that up.
Yeah, you can see where Ayala, she's obviously read where she's thinking
Yeah,
that Machenska
she's adjusted throughout the game, which is really good to see. That's all you can ask at this age group. I think they've definitely learned something during this game, and I think they just need to remember most of them have another game after this. They're still at 16, you know, there's under 18s, there's adult league.
Right, so we have match point, championship point here for Leeds Gorse. We've still got Egrenua on the baseline to serve. You can hear plenty of cheering. There's a horn going, and that one goes into the middle part of the net.
She just wants to play a little bit longer.
Although she's going to make her way off the court since she is a middle. So we've now got Davies coming back on. Sorry, Alejandro coming back on. Getting the liberos mixed up.
So we have a second match point at 14-24.
So Agnes serves. Well, that's a very shooty set out to Ngacha, who puts in an incredible line shot.
That was a fantastic last play for Leeds. That sort of set down the whole court is fantastic.
What a match. What a performance from the Leeds ladies. Plenty of really bright sparks in that Malory squad today. And like you said, they're young players. They're still going to have...
They have a whole world ahead of them.
Exactly. So they'll be a bit disappointed right now, but they should still be proud of the fact that they made it all the way to the finals for this weekend. It can be tough, but yeah, really well played, especially for an undersized team.
Yeah, and undersized teams make it this far. They're very scrappy. You can tell how they've made it this far. And throughout the whole game, their bench is cheering, their coaches are smiling. Just keep that sort of attitude up.
So we're just going to take a break for a moment or two, and then we will rejoin you guys to talk through the medal ceremony. Right, we are just looking at the medals ceremony where we've got Jess Keane handing out the medals for our under 16 girls today. We're just going to have Malory Eagles, who are now the runners up for this year's under 16. girls. Starting with their captain, number 7, Alicia Pamela Dalmedia. Then their starting libero, Ruby Davis. Number 4, Shizuka Foster. Number 6, Marta Martin. Number 11, Zainab Sen. Number 12, Zonia Andrushkiewicz. Number 14, Mariana Consequio. Number 16, Kelly Light. Number 15, Henna Metcalf. Number 22, Leela Davis. Number 21, Polly Tuggy. Number 77, Marcel Canley. Their head coach, Carlos Johnson, and their assistant coach, Giuseppe Montegrosso. So massive congratulations to those girls for making it to the finals. Really great performance from the ladies today, and plenty of good volleyball to come from all of them in the years to come. We're now going to we're just going to have a thank you for our 2 officials for this match, Francesca Bentley and Sarah Hanrahan. So massive thanks to both of them. And they will get a token of gratitude for their participation in the match today. We're now going to have our champions, the Leeds Gorse under-16 women, starting with their captain, Christina Ingacha. Number 15, Tamara Alejandrich. Number 2, Charlotte Machenska. Number 3, Evie Haig. Number 5, Olivia McHugh. Number 8, Lauren Thorne. Number 9, Perfection Awagbo. Number 10, Rejoice Eginrua. Number 11, Fatih Umar. Number 13, Estelle Payak. They're headed up by Elaine Brown with assistant coach Michael Lee. Huge congratulations to the Leeds Gorse ladies, and please stay tuned because we are going to have a post-match interview with our woman of the match, who I won't tell you who that is just yet. I'll leave you guys to guess, so feel free to put your guesses into the chat if you want. But you will be able to hear Tara King speak to our woman of the match. So massive congratulations to both of these teams. Thank you guys for joining. Catch us back in a couple of minutes' time where we speak to our MVP.
With 9 aces, make some noise for this year's MVP number 2.
We do the same for everyone. Don't worry, you're fine. Oh my god. Right, empty set. Big smiles. 3.
Hi.
Hi.
So you are the MVP of the under-16.
Yes,
How do you feel about that?
I feel amazing.
Yeah? How was the game overall? Are you happy with it?
I'm really happy with the game. I feel like we all played really well. Like none of us dropped energy. Like our energy was just really high, and we played really well.
You all look so happy out there as well. I think it's really nice to see such a happy team. So you're playing tomorrow in the under-18s for
Yes.
Leeds. How are you feeling about that?
I'm feeling excited because obviously it's going to be a harder level, but I feel like we'll do really well.
Is it nice having some of the same players like in the under-18 teams? Is it a
Yes.
strong connection between you all?
I feel like it's easier to connect because we're all really close as friends. So like it just helps us give that connection.
Yeah, yeah. Well done. Congratulations. You played
Thank you.
so well. It was such a good game to see.
Thank you.
Yeah, you were serving so well as well. You started off the second set with 5 aces. Is that something you're really proud of, your serving?
Yes.
or- Yeah. Cool. Well done.
Thank you.
Perfect. Thank you so much. It's fine. We're not telling you to be professionals. We want you to get a little bit of spotlight, and you played really well. So yeah, no, we've got a little counter. We think how many kills? 11 kills. How many aces? I don't remember anything. 9 aces. 11 kills. So we were like, and yeah. So we were struck. Like there was a few others we were looking at. We were looking at Laura and Perfection. We were like, but then those aces in the second set, we were like, we can't really go. So yeah, good luck tomorrow. Get some rest. Are you staying here or are you? Yeah, we're staying here. Makes sense. And then you got the boys cheering on as well. Perfect. See you later. See you later. See you next year, probably. Yes, of course. Right. Can you do a wrap up? Right. So thanks for watching. We'll be back on.
Right, so we are wrapping up this game now. It was a fantastic game to start the day off with. Really nice to see such high-level volleyball. So looking forward to the rest of the day. We'll be heading into the men's matches going on from now. So yeah, we'll see you in a little bit.